What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news from yesterday. And before we jump into things, I want to thank everybody for liking yesterday's video. It's greatly appreciated. We got a ton of likes. Let's see if we can do the same on this video and get a lot more. Like always, it helps grow this channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the red button just below it. Now, this video might be a little bit shorter than the previous news videos, but there's a lot to talk about in here. And with that being said, the highlight would be that the Air Jordan 8 OVO in black is also dropping in 2018. We got some additional details for the Air Jordan 6 Chinese New Year that's dropping in 2018. An Atmos Nike Air Max 1 collaboration dropping next year, and another Air Jordan 13 releasing during this month. But without wasting too much of your time, let's jump into the news. Adidas Originals just unveiled 2 additional colorways of the ClimaCool 0217 that's dropping this month. One features Mystery Ruby, while the other comes in Collegiate Navy. The two have a similar color blocking, and they're both highlighted with the ClimaCool mesh across the uppers, while white covers the midsole, and then we have like almost a translucent hue on the panels. As for the release date, they both drop on August 10th for $100. It seems like the new thing is to have exclusive Adidas NMDs released at your retail store. Finish Line is next up. Yesterday was Champ Sports, and they're dropping, or actually they have released, 2 Adidas NMD R1 releases. One pair features Collegiate Navy, Olive Cargo, and white, while the other comes in Urban Trail and Chalk White. The two are completed with white across the Boost midsole. Now, if you want to pick up one or the other, they're both available now at FinishLine.com, and the retail price is $130 each. If you haven't heard of Hender Scheme, pretty much what they do is they copy other brand shoes. That's it in a nutshell, but they add a luxury twist to them. Now, Hender Scheme has borrowed shoes from Jordan brand, of course Adidas, which we have on the screen, and more, but this is kind of a weird collaboration going on because Adidas is actually collaborating with Hender Scheme, which allows them to actually produce a shoe with their branding on it. Now, we don't have a lot of details, but we do know that the collaboration will include the Adidas Micropacer, NMDs, and the Adidas Superstar. According to Business of Fashion, you can expect the retail price to range between $900 and $1,000 each. In addition, each pair will be limited to about 300 pairs. We only have one image, and that is the Micropacer, as you can see, but as for the whole collection, they're scheduled to drop on September 2nd. Now, I'm not sure how the release is going to go down, if it's going to be at Adidas Originals retailers or at Hender Scheme online, but I'm sure before the drop date does take place, we'll hear additional details. On to Nike, and as you guys know, August is going to bring us a ton of color options and even different variations of the Nike Air Max 97. However, there is still some OG releases coming. One of them is the Nike Air Max 97 Neon. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this shoe. I do like the silver bullet the best, but this is probably second. The last time we saw this shoe release was back in 2005, but looking closer, they feature navy along with reflective 3M detailing across the uppers, and we do have neon volt, which lands on the Nike swoosh and within the Air unit. Now, as for the release details, we don't really have much to go on. The retail price is expected to be around $160, but what I've heard is they're going to drop sometime during fall. It appears that Supreme has a few new collaborations, one with Nike and one with Reebok, and I decided just to throw them both together in the Nike section. Now, only teaser images have leaked. One of them is an unknown Nike retro model. However, it appears that it's going to be the Nike Air Streak Spectrum. Now, we only have an image of the tongue, which obviously displays the traditional Nike branding that was seen on the Nike Air Streak Spectrum. In addition, there is Supreme branding just below it. As for Reebok, it appears that 2 colorways of the Reebok Pump Supreme will release. Kind of ironic, but at the same time, the only difference I see is that Supreme branding is on the back heel, but the images of these two are pretty bad. No additional information, however, the 2 models are expected to be a part of Supreme's Fall and Winter 2017 collection. Now, the Nike Air Spectrum, it's probably not a shoe that a lot of people like. It reminds me a lot of the Nike Air Monarch, but just a little bit of an upgrade. However, I will say that the flames on it is kind of cool. I guess it's a little bit corny at the same time too, but I kind of like that. LeBron James' first signature shoe, the Nike Air Zoom Generation, still has some additional colorways that will retro this year. Although we don't have images of what's going to release, we do have a color description which does match up with the original release coming in black, white, and red. Now, the color description on the pair dropping in 2017 comes in black, white, and varsity crimson. Varsity crimson, I guess you could call it a red, some people call it an orange. It is what it is, but it also appears that that's going to be the release, but who knows. Now, as for the release details, they're going to drop sometime in October, and retail price will be $175. A couple things on this, I do hope they make these available not just in a limited run, but like a general release. They kind of messed up on the first drop, I feel, and then the wheat pair just wasn't like the original, and I feel like if they bring these back in true form, then definite pickup. Also, I'm waiting for the LeBron 2 and the LeBron 4 to retro. I think those two are obviously my two favorite of the line, with the LeBron 4 being my number 1 and the LeBron 2 being the number 2. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section about the Nike Air Zoom Generation coming out in additional colorways. Thanks to Soul Heat on Feet, we have a lot of information about upcoming releases dropping in 2018. First up, we're going to talk about Atmos's next collaboration, which is the Nike Air Max 1 Premium. We don't have images of the shoe, so that's why this image is on screen, but they're going to feature dark curry, sport blue, black, and true white. Now, there is a placeholder date, which is April 2018. We don't have a retail price, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that they're going to drop during March, which is Air Max month, just because that makes more sense. But with that being said, according to the color description, they're going to feature obviously dark curry predominantly throughout, with sport blue, black, and true white accents. And with the premium release and a collaboration, you can also expect a bit of a higher retail price. On to Jordan Brand, and we have some good information on some upcoming retros. First is a pair that's going to drop later this month, and this is for the small feet, so I do apologize if you wear outside of a 9.5 wide, because I'm pretty sure these are going to be available only up to that size. This is the Air Jordan 13, being called Wolf Gray. Now, the shoes, they'll feature Wolf Gray, white, and Deadly Pink. However, the switch of things here is Deadly Pink only hits the hologram on the outsole instead of having more of a predominant takeover like on the Air Jordan 5. In addition, Wolf Gray covers pretty much the entire uppers. We have white on the laces and the pods. As for the material used, it appears that we have a little bit of suede as well as nubuck. Now, as for the release details, August 26th is the date, and retail price will be $140. Aside from the pink used, I don't see why this is a GS exclusive. I feel Jordan Brand could have dropped these in, adult sizes as well. Switch the pink out for a different shade, maybe even a blue, a green, anything other than pink, and still release them in a full family size run. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. This next bit of news, as well as the following, is provided by Soul Heat on Feet. If you're not following him on Twitter, go ahead and do so. But in yesterday's video, I shared that Jordan Brand would be releasing the OVO Air Jordan 8 in white. Now, I kind of jumped the gun on it because I did the whole video, I uploaded it and it was ready to go. And then shortly after that, I found out from Soul Heat on Feet that the black pair is also dropping in January. So now, mind you, before we go forward on this, that this is a placeholder date. It could release a little before January. However, I kind of doubt that. But to see a drop happen in February during All-Star Weekend, like the OVO Air Jordan 8 in white, is possible and seems more likely to me. Now, we only have preview images of the Friends and Family edition, so like I mentioned yesterday, it's possible that the retail release will differ, but the actual colorway is black, metallic gold, varsity red, and blur. I still don't know what blur is, but as you can see, predominant black throughout. We have tumbled leather used. We have red that lands on the Jumpman branding, landing on the tongue as well as the outsole, and hits a metallic gold throughout. And on the back heel pull tab, we do have the OVO owl. Now, like I mentioned, expected to drop during January. The retail price will be $225. Now, it would be a bit different if they actually released both colorways at the same time and did some sort of like maybe even regional release. I think that would be kind of cool, but I just know from the Air Jordan 10 and the 12, they released a pair and then they waited a while, released the second one. So who knows how they're doing things here, but leave a comment below. Let me know if you plan on grabbing both pairs, one pair, or which one you like best. Finishing things up from Jordan Brand, they're going to follow in the theme of things and release another Chinese New Year's collection during January. In 2018, the next model they're going to use is the Air Jordan 6. Now, before anybody jumps to things, this is a Photoshop, just a blackout shoe. It's not the actual release, nor is the picture in the thumbnail, so I don't want people to go ahead and think that's what's dropping. Now, we don't obviously have images, but the color description is going to be black, multicolor, summit white, and metallic gold. Now, according to the color description, black and multicolor will probably be used heaviest throughout, and then summit white detailing in, as well as metallic gold accents. So January 2018 is the expected time frame. I believe I read somewhere that the placeholder date is January 26 for now, but that isn't confirmed. It could be pushed around, but January 2018 is more than likely the time frame they're gonna drop. And the retail price is $250. And that recaps the news. Like always, we post it first on SneakerFiles.com, and then we take it to YouTube. So what I'm feeling from this video is the Nike Air Max 97 OG Neon. I've always liked that colorway. I think it's pretty dope. I like how it's like a dark blue, almost black shade, and then you got neon volt that really like brings the shoe to life. Next up is the Zoom Generation Retro. If they drop in the OG colorway in black, white, and red, definite pickup. I just hope that they don't mess it up this time around. They don't drop some limited run and then resale prices are through the roof. Now the Atmos Nike Air Max 1, I'm just more curious to see what that looks like, that dark curry upper. I'm not really sure if I'm feeling the whole scheme of things that they're going to use, but it's going to be really hard to top that last year's release. I think that's, you know, just obviously a classic. I think Jordan Brand dropped the ball on the Air Jordan 13 Wolf Gray. I feel like that shoe could have easily released in full family sizing and been perfectly fine, and people would have bought them, you know, for the most part. Now the Air Jordan 8 OVO, another pickup. The black pair, like I said in yesterday's video, I like a lot more than the white pair just because it's, for me, it would be easier to match and they won't get dirty. So last up would be the Air Jordan 6 Chinese New Year. I'm just more excited to see what those look like. I know the 12s I did like last year. I actually like the kids edition better than the adult, but both were clean. And that does it for me. Leave a comment below. Let me know from this video what you liked or what you disliked. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.